This is W. Clement Stone saying, I feel healthy, I feel happy, I feel terrific. I love all my fellow men. I love every one of you. And it's my sincere prayer that you respond and learn how to help yourself by learning the art of motivation.
And I can describe it to you in one short sentence so you can understand it. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve. Isn't that a profound statement? You will notice that it says nothing about the need for education, but simply that whatever your mind can conceive and believe, your mind can achieve. Now, if you want evidence that the mind can achieve whatever the mind can conceive without the benefit of formal education,
if he were able to force our brain to work at only half its capacity, we could, without any difficulty whatever, learn 40 languages, memorize the large Soviet encyclopedia from cover to cover, and complete the required courses of dozens of colleges. Now, this statement is hardly an exaggeration. It is the generally accepted theoretical view of man's mental potentialities. Now, how can we tap this gigantic potential?
Get up every morning and look yourself in the mirror and say, today I'm going to give it my best shot. You're number one when at the end of that day, you can get back in front of that mirror and say, today I gave it my best shot. You're number one with the one who is the most important as far as your success is concerned.
If you will practice these principles until they become habits, until they become automatic for you, then nothing can stop you. So let's talk about these principles. They start with the letter C. Each one of them, there's 10 principles. The first principle starts with the letter C. It says clarity. And clarity is the starting point of all success. It means clarity of thinking. It means thinking clearly, and it extends from thinking clearly to a series of other things. With regard to clarity, it means the ability to determine exactly what it is that you want to be, have, or do in life. And the more I study successful men and women, the more I find that every single one of them, the top 5%, are very clear about where it is they're going and what it is they want to accomplish. And when I look at unsuccessful men and women, or men and women who seem to be unhappy and floundering, I find that almost invariably they have a very, very limited sense of direction, sometimes no sense of direction at all. You see, we as human beings...
Nobody ever taught us any of the rules. Not once. Not for 45 minutes. Did anybody ever teach us how to set goals? How to motivate ourselves and others? How to handle adversity when it hits us? How to use our time profitably? How to get rid of the bad habits that we acquire? How to accumulate wealth? How to handle stress? And so much more. And so most of us become spectators in the greatest game of all. Pushed aside by the lucky few who seem to know what they want, and more important, who seem to know how to get it.
The only difference is our perception of ourselves, how we see ourselves, our awareness of this higher place, this higher self within, and perhaps in the results we're getting. Anyone that has ever done any research into human potential will be quick to tell you that you have infinite potential. You've been blessed with exactly the same mental faculties as the Bells or the Wrights. And the same power flows to and through you that flew through them. Now, do you know that you can take and build the most magnificent dream in your mind?
See, you don't want to wind up at the end of your life and discover that you've lived only 1/10 of it. And the other 9/10 went down the drain. Not for lack of opportunity, for lack of information. So that's number one, find out how things work. Now here's the best human virtue for finding out, curiosity. Make a note of that. Curiosity. Be curious.
Then build a foundation under your dreams. And when you see men and women who rise from poverty and obscurity to fame and renown, you invariably see someone who had a vision of what they could be and have and do that was far beyond what they were. Every one of us has had an experience. At one time when we were small, we had a vision of being grown up and having our own cars. And as we grew older, we had a vision of having our own homes and our own families. And as we grew older, we had a vision of traveling and going to Europe. We fulfill all our visions. The wonderful thing is this, is that we always tend to achieve our goals. The problem is that our goals are set so low that even when we do achieve them, they don't turn us on. They don't fill us with enthusiasm. So dream big dreams.
You're God's greatest creation, and you are meant to win. But the obstacles cause us to have doubts in our mind. Are we really capable of doing this? You know, if you had formed the attitude that every obstacle is an illusion, just like this ladder, I didn't have to climb over it. I could just walk right through it. Well, you may not be able to walk through some of the obstacles, but I can guarantee you this. You're able to figure out how to get around them, how to get over them, or how to get to where you want to go. You're able to do anything.
You will be the same person in 5 years as you are today, except for the people you meet and the books you read. The next night that you're free, instead of collapsing in front of that television set at home, why not take a little trip down to your local library? Walk in, find that special shelf of books that's in every library, that gold mine, that shelf containing books on success, how to achieve it, and how to hold on to it after you get it. Walk up and introduce yourself to some of the most powerful people who have ever lived. People like Napoleon Hill, Norman Vincent Peale, Maxwell Maltz, Dorothea Brand, W. Clement Stone. They're waiting at this very minute to help you.
And you'll know and realize that you've created a better world for yourself and everyone else to enjoy. And you'll also realize that what you're looking at,
It's the person that picks themselves up and says, nothing is going to stop me. You know, the best quality in the world that you can develop, and I give it to you because I made it my life's habit to develop this quality. I hope I've got it, but I don't know for sure. But the quality is to develop the quality of being unstoppable. Develop the quality of being unstoppable. Say in yourself that no matter what life throws at me, it'll never stop me. No matter how rough it gets, I will never quit. And nothing will ever stop me. Make the decision that you can be tired, you can be worn out.
But you have your goal, and you know that you will become and you will achieve what you think about. That is, if you stay with it, you will reach your goal. But how?
Go back into your past experiences, study each adversity and failure you may have experienced, and look for that seed of an equivalent benefit you had not before discovered, and you may find yourself richer than you believed yourself to be.
do exactly what we've suggested. And you're going to turn your world into one of absolute beauty.